it's the Rawesome Vegan Gal here, and today I'm doing the final recipe video for a brand called the Australian Carob Company, and thanks to all the folks there. And I will have a link below to their website so you can check out all about their products. So this is a very unique product, and I'm really excited, first of all, to try it, and then I'm going to make something with it. It's their pure carob syrup, and in the first introductory video, I went through all the products and explained them and the benefits, so if you want to look for more of the information, you can go there. So this is very unique. I've never actually seen a product like this, and I guess I kind of knew about this company, and you'll see the hint to that in the second video, so I'm not going to tell you that. If you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. But I never knew about that this product existed. So it's very unique because it's making a syrup out of carob. And what that means, and it also has water in here, it's certified organic carob. What that actually means is that this is an awesome product for people who have issues with like diabetes or any kind of things related to their sugar, because this, even though it's sweet, it's not sugar. But it's going to be sweet because it says here it's 20 grams of sugar for 2 tablespoons. But again, it should not, I believe I mentioned this in the first video, that it doesn't affect your glycemic level. So anyway, so I'm first of all going to try this, and I'm going to make something with it. It has a nice seal here, and I think this needs to be refrigerated after opening, and it's 8.45 fluid ounce a bottle. I like the bottle. I like bottles and jars, so when I see something that looks interesting to me, and it is glass, so I'm going to go ahead and open this. So it's refrigerated after opening. If it's not open, then it doesn't have to be refrigerated. So, oh, it's nice. It's got a pour spout. I like that. Oh, and it smells like carob. So I'm going to go ahead, actually, what I'm going to do first is I have a spoon here so I can try it and see how it pours. Oops, this little, oh no, it's not coming off. Let's see. Wow, this is really thick. Oh, wow, I hope it pours. Wow, that is super thick. Oh, there it comes. I didn't know where it's coming from, but I got a few drops. It's like super thick, I guess because it's colder weather. It's not pouring out the way I thought it would. So I'm going to try that little drop. That is good. It tastes like carob. Oh, now I see that there's kind of like some liquid lower down. And I don't think this needs to, I don't think it says shake before using, but maybe I should have stirred it with a stick or something. I have like a chopstick or something. I might just go do that. So bear with me for one moment as I leave the camera. I'm going to find myself a chopstick here that I could actually mix it. So maybe that'll help. It's a clean chopstick. Because it seems like it's not stirring. Oh, there we go. I think it needed a little stirring. So there we go. I think now it should pour better. And I'm going to go ahead and lick this because it's delicious. I don't want it to go to waste. It has this caramel kind of a flavor that's really very unique. I can't really describe it, but it's like a caramelly flavor. So now, in order to make this, what I'm going to make, I call it, and I'm sorry to say that I didn't get to do any savory ones because carob lends itself to sweeter things, so hopefully you can figure something out yourself. So what I'm going to make is I call this a Quinoa Carob-Chia pudding. So I got to get started on making the chia gel, so I'll show you what that is. So if you've never done anything with chia, so I have the chia seeds right here, and I'm also going to include any products that I either mention or use in the video so that you can also share that as well. So this is from a brand called Nativa. It says black chia seeds. And in order to make chia gel, they tell you right here, you need to soak 2 tablespoons of seeds for 5 to 10 minutes in 6 ounces of water. So I want to get that started so that can, it takes a little bit of time. And then you can add that. So I'm going to add that to the pudding, and I'll show you the other ingredients I'm going to use. So what I'm going to do to make it, I have 2 options, but I'm going to probably use this option. I'm not going to use water. They say use water, but I'd rather use something else that's a little more nutritious. So I have 2 different products here. I have the Harmless Organic Coconut Smoothie, which I actually used in another recipe, so I'm probably not going to do that, but just wanted to show you that's an option. And then the other option that I'm actually going to use today is the Forager Project Organic Cashewmilk with only 4 ingredients. And I've done a lot of videos for them, and I've also done for Harmless Harvest as well. So I'm going to make the chia gel using this cashew milk. And it's also got cashews and oats as well. So what I'm going to do now is I have a bowl here. and a spoon. So I've got my bowl, I got my measuring spoon because I need, like I said, I think it said 2 tablespoons, just to be sure. Yep, 2 tablespoons. And yeah, chia seeds is chock full of really good omegas, protein, antioxidants, etc. So really good for you. So it's kind of fun to make a chia pudding. So I'm just going to take that and put this in my bowl here. So just bear with me as I do that, and I'll show you in the camera. And then I have a measuring cup so I could measure out the amount of cashew milk I need. That makes it easier. So let me see, I'll put this here. Just bear with me 1 second. So I got my measuring cup to show you that. And then this actually needs to be shaken up, I believe, because it does separate, even though you can't see that, but I can see it from the bottom here. So better to, since this is sealed, don't turn it upside down when it's open. I just like to do it that way because it kind of mixes any stuff that's kind of to the bottom. So just kind of give it a good shake. And then this is something that has to be kept refrigerated all the time. Just so you know, if you've never had that. Okay, so now I got my measuring cup here. I think it looks like it's mixed. And we need 6 ounces. And I don't know if I'm going to use all the chia gel. Ooh, let's see. I think 6 ounces is almost there. There we go. I got my 6 ounces. Okay. So I'm pouring that. It smells good. So I don't know if you could kind of actually see some of it where it's up to right now. It's hard. It's like a weird kind of a, not weird, but interesting kind of a bottle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm pouring this into here. And that's going to soak up, the chia seeds soak up liquid. So I'm going to leave it in there. And I also have a clean chopstick if I want to, or I could use the other one. It's only me eating, but. So I'm just going to kind of give this a little mix. And then every few minutes, I'll go ahead and check it and see how it's doing. And then I'll talk about the other ingredients that are going into this quinoa Carob-Chia pudding. Okay. So there we go. I'm just going to let that sit. If you could see. Oh, sorry I was not in the camera. I thought I was. There you go. Now you can see kind of see a little bit of the chia seeds there. But they'll be more visible as it thickens. Yeah, I thought I was in the camera with the bowl, but I wasn't. Okay, so now I already talked about the liquid. So then what I'm also going to use, I thought would be nice to give it a little interesting color, is I did a video for this brand, and I'll also include them below. This is a strawberry and wild strawberry fruit spread. It's all organic. It's called Fiordifrutta from Rigoni de Asiago, and it's in a nice glass jar. Also, this needs to be refrigerated after opening, so that's an option. I mean, you could do other things. You don't have to use that, but you know, some people make chia pudding where they maybe put in layers and put fruit in between, like they put some of the, you know, like the chia and then fruit and then chia and then fruit or something else. I mean, you know, there's so many options. Then of course what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix some of the carob syrup into that now that I mixed it up, and it'll pour better. That's that. And then so the quinoa. So how did I do that? I actually pre-made it because I'm not in the kitchen or at a stove. So this is actually quinoa flakes. I pre-made this and let it cool down, and I'll show you a little bit about that. And then check back on that chia, see how it's doing. So this is, oops, I didn't take off this sticker. Just bear with me for 1 minute. Forgot something I left on here. Okay, so this is quinoa flakes. So this is a quick way to make quinoa if you want to add it for things for thickening, like if you had a soup or something. So this is from Ancient Harvest, and I'll include as well below about them. So this you make as a cereal, and it cooks really quick. It's like ready in 90 seconds. So that's really good if you want something quick, and you can always add other things to it. You know, you can also eat it as a breakfast cereal, but it's just organic white quinoa flakes. That's it. It comes in the box, and it has a bag in it. I'll just show you what that looks like. So that's the quinoa. And I put it in another resealable bag once it's open. And I keep this in the freezer just for freshness. I don't think that it has to be kept in there, but it's just something that I do. So that's a nice thing that you could use. And quinoa is also high in protein, so you got that added part. So now I'm going to check on this chia just to see how it's doing. And oh yeah, it's thickening already. Wow, that's pretty quick. Like I just looked at it and I could see and I could feel it, because as I'm mixing it, now I'm showing. Now you can actually see it more. Can you see the chia more? As I was starting to mix it, I could feel the thickening going on. So hopefully this will be done shortly. Hopefully it's done in the 10 minutes that it says. Okay. It said 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going on their recipe, so hopefully they are on the money. Okay, so then I'll just continue on with the other ingredients here. So, hold on. Let me see what else. Okay, so what else I'm going to add, and then before I continue with that, because there's only one other ingredient, just to tell you a little bit more about chia, if you don't know. Like I said, it's high in omegas, protein, antioxidants, and fiber. High in iron, 6% calcium. The video isn't about chia, but I figured since we're waiting on the chia to thicken, I didn't want to do it before. I wanted to show you how it's done. So, yeah, chia can be used in anything else too. You know, you don't have to make a pudding. You could also just sprinkle it on your cereal, or I've even sprinkled it on in like having a soup, either cold or hot soup, like it's sitting there a little bit and it thickens, or it doesn't have to thicken. It doesn't have to get that way in order to use it. You could put it in yogurt. I mean, you know, you could just mix them with your if you have trail mix or making a granola. So you could do lots of different things with them. And then the final product I'm using, and just so you know, this product is unfortunately not available because I was actually going to do some videos on it. It's really sad because it's an awesome product. I've actually been in touch with the owner of the company, and they stopped making it because the demand was not there, and I think it was just costing them too much to make it. So they decided to stop doing it. So, and it's really it's so unique. It's coconut chips, but they're made with lemongrass and coconut nectar, and they're really fine, like shaved coconut like this, and they're really delicious. And so what I'm going to use this as a topping on the chia pudding, or you can mix it inside for texture. It's just something different for texture because the pudding is going to just be kind of just one kind of a texture, you know, kind of smooth. So I thought this would be nice to have a little crunch to it and something a little different. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be putting this down. You'll have to get other coconut chips. There are other brands who make, but these are the ones I'm using because they're really good. I believe who else does coconut chips is a brand called Edward & Sons that I've done videos for. You can check them out. I'll include them below. But these are super delicious, so that's why I wanted to use them, even though I can't recommend them, unfortunately. So I want to just check on our progress here. It's kind of getting thick. It's not like super thick yet. I was expecting it to almost be done by now, but I'm not sure it's quite 10 minutes. So, you know, probably my own future... if I ever do anything like this in future videos, I think I might just prepare it ahead of time so that it doesn't take so long for it to be ready. Because it's not quite there yet, and I wanted to start making the pudding. So what I may do is just use the pieces that are kind of thick. There's some pieces that are kind of thick, but the whole thing hasn't thickened up the way I thought it would. So yeah, what I'll do, because I don't want this video to go super long, is I will start making it if I can. I was going to do it, okay, what I'll have to do is improvise, as that's just the name of the game here. I will put the quinoa into that, okay. So I'm just talking to myself, don't mind me. So I'm going to actually, what I'm going to do is I'll start with the other ingredients. And let's see what I need to do here is, okay. So I'm going to use this, okay. So what I'm going to start with then is putting my quinoa in here, in the bowl. I just poured it into the measuring cup, so I have a bowl to use. So I'm just going to take some quinoa. I'm probably not going to use all of it. Now the quinoa might help kind of thicken it as well if I don't use too much of that chia. That's what I was hoping to use, but that's okay. We don't get to use it all or some of it. So I can't tell you how much exactly I have in here, but I'm just making kind of one serving. I did make, when I made the quinoa, I just used their recipe for, you know, was it like 1/3 of a cup flakes and what was it, a cup of water, and that's it. So I'm not sure how much it actually makes. So I just took a little bit amount here, and then what I'm going to add is the let's see, did I get a spoon for that? Okay. Spoon 4, I didn't get that. Okay. So I'm just going to pour this in there. Sorry, this is not coming out exactly the way I hoped. So I don't have the spoon available. So I already used that. Okay, I'll use the back of this then. Sorry, I'm trying to improvise here. So bear with me. I'm just putting some of the strawberry. I just can't hold it and do it at the same time. Okay. So the strawberry can either be mixed in or put on the top, but I just kind of mixed it into the, I'm just mixing it into the quinoa. It's like that, so it kind of gives it a nice little color. And you have a little bit of a sweet flavor from that. And you could always add more on top if you like. I just forgot to get some extra spoons, so I had to use the back of the spoon. It's okay. I don't mind. Fret not. It's fine with me. It's okay if we do things that way. Nobody's perfect, right? Okay, so that's that part. Then I'm going to add, the next thing would be to add the carob syrup. And now I'm going to open that up. And now it should pour pretty easily. Now that we got it mixed up a little. So I'm just going to pour some. Now it'll pour so easily that I won't pay attention how much goes in there. So I'm just going to kind of drizzle it through. Okay, so I don't know if I took like a spoonful maybe. And then I'm going to mix that up. And then maybe by now the chia will be a little bit more thick. The chia gel that I was hoping to use here. Okay, so I'm going to first mix that in. So we got the quinoa, we got the strawberry spread, and we got the carob. So the carob gives it a darker color now. It's kind of changing it up a little. So what you might want to do too is then add some strawberry on top to give it a little more red color. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and check on the chia again. See if we're doing any better here. Still kind of watery. I think maybe it needed less liquid because it's more than, I'm sure it's more than 10 minutes since I started this. It's not, I think it needed less liquid. It's not performing the way I had hoped it would. So we're just going to do something. Let's see if I can, with this other spoon. Sorry, I'm not able to show you this in the camera. What I'm doing is, actually, I'll just show you. What I'm doing is I'm taking the spoon and I'm kind of taking off the thicker part of the chia with some of the liquid, because since it didn't all get thick, I kind of want the thickness of the chia, so I'm kind of draining out some of the liquid. I want some of it in there. I'm trying to get the pieces of the chia that actually kind of thickened up in here. So I'm getting kind of some of it. You can see that there. And I'll show it to you once I get more into this bowl. So that's just improvising. That's what you have to do when you're doing a live video. And you don't edit. I don't edit any of my videos. Okay. So that is that. Now, I'm going to mix that in. Hopefully it's not too watery, but it's a pudding, so it's okay if it's a little watery. So now we got the chia in there. So that kind of worked anyway, even though it wasn't exactly the way I thought it would be. And what a lot of people do with their puddings is they put it in the fridge overnight, and probably that chia gel should be really taken overnight because their recipe of 5 to 10 minutes, not quite happening. It probably needs to go in the fridge for overnight. But I think I made it work. So here's kind of what it looks like. You can see the chia in there, hopefully. Can you see the chia? I don't know if you can see the carob, but you can see the chia. But the carob is in there. I didn't use a ton of it. I mean, if you like it more, you can always drizzle some more on top. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe drizzle some of the carob on top of it now, just for added effect. Kind of drizzle a little on here. Didn't quite drizzle the way I thought. I was hoping to get kind of like a swirl, but it didn't do that. It just made dots. Okay, so I put a few dots of the carob, and then I'm going to sprinkle on some of this, these coconut chips that I won't even tell you the name because, like I said, they're not available, but you'd have to get others that are. So I'm just going to put a little bit on here. Okay, and you can always add more and mix it in if you like to do that as well. So I'm sure it'll be delicious, even though it didn't come out. The process didn't come exactly as I hoped it would. So here is what it looks like, the finishing result, and I'm going to go ahead and take a taste. That's nice. It's not super sweet. If you like it sweeter, you can always add more of the strawberry. Putting the carob syrup on top too is nice. You get a little more of that flavor. And the definitely the coconut chips add to the texture and a little crunch, but it's not super sweet. It's actually nice. I think I like it this way, that it's not super sweet. But the chia did work, even though it was not as it was not gelling as quickly as I thought it would. The whole thing, it kind of just took its time. So I got some of it out, but I think it's delicious, and I'll enjoy the rest of this. And again, this is part 5 video for the Australian Carob Company, and this was using the pure carob syrup in this delicious, what I call Quinoa Carob-Chia pudding. And I thank you for watching. It's the Rawesome Vegan Gal.